So, Mike, I know that's a hard one to follow up with. Anything interesting, right? I want to talk to you a little bit about film commissions, which I know you probably get a lot, but we'll come back to you, okay? We'll come back to you later. We'll come back to talking about you later, Mike. I want to know, what's the main function of a film commission, and why are they important in today's modern film landscape? No, I think we lost him. No,
You can fire me now.
we will.
Yeah.
Mike, am I on? You're a pro.
Do it again.
I would have done the same thing.
I don't want anybody missing this gold.
I would have done the same thing.
No, so film commission, I mean, the main function of a film commission is to really help raise the profile of the area that you're serving. So when it comes to us, it is definitely showing that Cleveland, Northeast Ohio is a destination for filmmakers. And then it's also just to help cultivate all the different people doing things. So a lot of that, I think a lot of times, like for myself, I think it is being present in the community. So doing things like this, going to screenings, talking at Cleveland State, which I've done many times. Sometimes I think when the students see me, it's like, oh, I'm going to hear the same talk again. But I really want to, it's one of those things where I want to hammer home. It's like, we want to help you, and we want to make sure that you have everything that you need to be able to make the projects that you want to make here. So
that's a good point.
That's what we do.
You just got to lead every conversation from now on with, so Lily Reinhardt. Look her up. She's from Cleveland.
Beachwood.
Bay. No, that's great. So I've spoken with some other film commissions, and I also know that an important part of film commissions is lobbying, at a state level.
Correct.
Is that true as well? Can you talk a little bit about that, and I guess how in a modern landscape, right? Everyone's competing to get filmmakers in because it's such an airdrop of cash into an economic ecosystem. Because if a movie comes in for 2 months and is dropping $10 million into a local economy, essentially it's just like shooting that right in, because they're buying expendables, they're going to restaurants, they're doing hotel rooms, and all that money just gets, like I say, airdropped when I describe it, because it just, boom, it's in. And obviously there's tax breaks and things that then go back out.
Right.
But the point of the matter is that economy, the wheel of economy is turning. So is there important things, I guess, film students here, there's a couple people that I recognize from coming here a couple times that are really interested in film business. Are there important things that people who want to stay in Cleveland and be filmmakers in Cleveland can do to support you guys in your effort to change things like down in Columbus?
Yeah. So one of the things that we're currently working on is supporting a bill that will raise the incentive from 40 to over 100 and hopefully to 140 million.
Wow.
That is right now the ultimate goal. The other thing is, and there are certain changes that were made in the Ohio incentive when we almost lost our incentive. They split it up, 20 million at the beginning of the year, 20 million at the end. That's great for a company like Netflix. That's great for a company like Disney, who can like emphatically say in 6 months we will still have that money. For independent productions, it's not very friendly. So obviously it's great when we have the Netflixes and the Disneys of the world, but we want to have independent productions as well, because I think that's where the up and coming camera operator would probably get a much higher position, where some of the films like the Netflix and the Disney, they're bringing a lot of their people from the coast. Yeah. And we want to help get our people training. So by having more money and also kind of getting rid of those windows that kind of hurts the independent filmmakers, because usually the independent filmmakers, if they get the money and they have an actor, they have to go. They have to find a place. So we want to be that friendly state to those productions. So yeah, there's several changes. So I think when the time comes, we will rally everybody, and we might have to do another busload down to Columbus, knocking on the door a little bit. But I think it's the best way to just show them that, because they just assume everybody comes from out of state. but we can show them, hey, we have tons of people who work in this industry here.
That's amazing. And I know you can, because it is statewide, you can also team up with like Columbus and Cincinnati.
Correct.
I know right now there's a commission for each of those cities,
Yes.
but unification's important. Is there like a mailing list that listeners or people here in the audience can just be on so that if that bus ride does come, they'll be notified of it?
Absolutely. clevelandfilm.com. You can sign up for our newsletter, and you can get all the updates. And, like I said, it's going to be one of those, a unified front, I think, really goes a long way when showing the state that this is something that they should invest in.
Nice. I really appreciate you going on, that topic with us, because we are an infotainment podcast, so we are trying to develop as much as we can in our local city and really our state in this region. And I think you get a lot of territory to cover. Like you get farmlands, you get cities, you get mountains, you get a lot, and you get 4 seasons, and that's something that the coasts have to synthesize inside. So, out here you can make those kind of outdoor independent movies for $500,000, $200,000, and get this very rustic, beautiful Rust Belt chic that we like to call it. So, it's good.
Real quick to kind of hammer it. One of the things when working with the unions, they have what's called a 30-mile zone. So, when you set up your production office, you try to stay within that 30 miles, because once you go outside of that, that's when your rates go up. But when you have other major metropolitan areas like Atlanta, New York, Los Angeles, you have to travel sometimes upwards to 60 to 70 in order to get some of the locations that we can easily get within that 30 miles. So nice. That's what, I think really makes Ohio attractive to all those.
So not only are the people good, but the place is good.
Yes.
We want to tell the universe, Cleveland is here and ready to go.
We need Fred McFeely Rogers on this pitch. He did it for PBS back in the day.
Fred Rogers, Mr. R. Awesome. Thanks, Mike. Really appreciate you. And I'm sure if we hear of anything or people who are listening and want to know more, we'll fire them your way.
Absolutely.
Nice.